What's up, selectors? It is Select Screen here, back with another selector requested review. Shout out to my man DJ, who has definitely been asking me to get on this thing, man. And yeah, it is about time we get into it. You know how Twitch does me. Always put me in weird categories and stuff like that. But we are getting ready to review this movie, man. It's been a while since we've had a good movie review come out, and mostly because movies right now have not been really great, right? The writer strike's coming, all of those repercussions, they're almost done. Hopefully they're done, man, with the actor strike. Shout out to everybody who's out there striking, man. That's got to be tough. That's got to be really tough, but fighting for their rights, man. I appreciate that. So support for them, but more importantly, thank you guys for
choosing
your destiny and hanging out with me. DJ said, I'm also asking for you to email your album. Yeah, I got to finish the album first. The album ain't finished yet. Yeah, so soon, whenever I can get it figured out, hopefully when the album's done. Yeah, it's been a process, man. Going to another studio. Normally I do my albums by myself. I produce them, I mix them, I master them. This time going to somebody else, it's just a time thing. You know what I mean? It's a time thing. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about Blue Streak tonight. We're also going to jump back on after this stream. We're only doing this one on Twitch and YouTube because it's selector selected, and DJ asked for this one to be on YouTube. But we'll be hitting all of the channels here a little bit later with my reaction to, gosh, the new Omni-Man trailer is crazy. It's crazy. So we'll be reacting to that tonight as well in a separate stream where we'll hit Facebook and stuff like that as well. All right, that's the plan for tonight, man. That'll be, I don't know, probably about an hour or two from now if you're catching this on the live. All right, we're gonna jump into this. DJ said, this is why I never rap. Too much stress. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. But I love it. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man, let's jump into this review. I don't want to waste any more, especially at DJ's time. He's been waiting on this for a minute. I'm ready. You're ready. Let's go. As soon as my button works. All right, let's do this. Let's go. Yes, sir. All right. Talking about Blue Streak. Martin Lawrence at probably the height of his career, I would say. Coming off, he's already done Bad Boys. We're going to talk about that. But let's talk about what this movie is about in the first place. So we'll just break this down, man. Blue Streak came out in 1999 as PG-13, hour and 33 minutes. And yeah, again, starring Martin Lawrence, Luke Wilson, Peter Green. But there's some notable people in this movie. And I wanted to run, the reason I'm doing IMDb on this one is there's some notable people in here. Of course, Martin Lawrence and Luke Wilson, right? They're the leads, right? Peter Green, who you may know from The Mask, is in this. But my man is in here. Dave Chappelle plays a very Dave Chappelle character in this movie. If you know, you know. If you've ever seen any of his earlier movies. Octavia Spencer is in it. Who else did I recognize right off the jump? Tamala Jones. Yep, she's in it. Trying not to hit all these ads because you know how that goes. And what the movie is about is a former convict poses as a cop to retrieve a diamond he stole years ago. And that's literally the whole premise of the movie. DJ said this was his peak. Man, well, we'll get into the great. let's talk about the positives of this movie. First and foremost, this is a Martin Lawrence movie. If you liked Martin back in the 90s, you're going to like this movie. He's playing characters. He's doing the whole thing in this movie. And it's not a bad movie. Let me say that. It has funny moments. It's Martin Lawrence doing Martin Lawrence stuff. You got to understand at this point in time in the 90s, if you guys have never seen this movie, comedy was different. You got to think about Jim Carrey doing a lot of physical stuff. Martin did a lot of character work. It's a different time, right? I wanted to take a look at some of the other movies that Martin had done around this time. 99. Let me drop down here. We gotta go quite a bit. Okay, so I forgot he was in House Party. All right, so he had done from 92 to 97, he had done the Martin show, right? So DJ saying he was at his peak. I would agree. He did Nothing to Lose, which was amazing. He did Life in the same year. And as you can see, this got a 6.8. Blue Streak got a 6.3. Then he went to Big Mama's House after that. I personally like Life better than this movie. And I want to stay on the positives first. The thing about this movie is it's 1999. And for me, I would put this as mid. Like, I felt like this movie, when I saw it as a kid, it was fine. But looking through his career, he's playing a thief who has to be a cop, but he had already done Bad Boys, right? So we had already seen him as a cop doing comedy. You know what I mean? Bad Boys is not a comedy, it's an action movie with comedy elements, right? This is a comedy with some action in it. So it's different, but it's not, I don't know. I just didn't find it as funny going back and watching this again. When you compare this to, it's better than Black Knight. It's better than National Security. But he did, after this, 2003, he does Bad Boys 2, right? Big Mama's House 2, okay. All right. Even Wild Hogs. Those movies, they're heavy. They're heavy. What's cool about this movie is you get to see Martin doing Martin stuff. It's a simple premise. Again, he has a band. It's kind of like the opening scene of The Dark Knight. He has three guys trying to steal this diamond. Martin gets it. He gets caught and then basically hides the diamond in a vent. And the other two guys betray. Well, one of them betrays. And that's how we get, kind of the villain, if you will, of the movie. And it's, let me say this, it's funny. It's a different, I love what DJ just said. I have a different sense of humor, and I laughed all the movie on Blue Streak. And that's the thing. It's not a bad movie. It's just Martin Lawrence. And I know DJ said this is one of his favorite. Martin's one of his favorite black actors. Yeah. And that's the thing. I guess I'm always comparing this in this line of work. If you look at these movies, Martin Lawrence is dope. He's just dope, man. And I don't know. For me, it's a good movie for him, especially at the time. And that's the thing. Looking through the lens of time, this is one of Martin Lawrence's best movies, right? When this came out in 99, it's one of his best. But when you look at his discography, I would still say this is in the top 5, but I'd probably put it at 5. Does that make sense? I would put it at 5. most of the time I think about Big Mama's House. I think about the show. Um, now that I've seen Do the Right Thing, I would say Do the Right Thing is one of his best movies. He's incredible in Do the Right Thing. And then of course I think of Bad Boys, RL said it's lagging on his end. That's crazy, bro. DJ, are we having lag for you as well, man? Let me know. Some of the things I didn't like in the movie, and it's just, again, it's a different era now. Watching it back again, some of the scenes, and this is not on Martin at all. It's just some of the scenes stay a little longer than they should. And that's kind of how 90s movies were, right? So Martin gets the idea, he's going to go and steal or go back and get the diamond, right? Gets out of jail and he does his Martin dance thing, right? And he does that. Okay. And it's funny. And I laugh, right? But then the camera stays on him as he walks away and he's still doing it and he's still doing it and he's still doing it. And it's like, all right, editors should have cut there. They should have cut there. The scene's a little too long. And again, that's not on Martin's performance at all. It's just, it's a product of the times, right? And Liar, Liar, Jim Carrey does the same thing where he goes in to the bathroom. When I watched that as a kid, that was the funniest scene in that whole movie where he's just trashing himself, right? Smashing himself in the toilet, that whole thing. Watching it back now, you're like, dang, man. All right, we get the point. He had to hurt himself. So I'm not having that affect my score. I'm just saying if you're going and you're watching this movie now and you've never seen this movie, you may not get it. It's one of those things where you had to be there. You just had to be there. DJ said, Do the Right Thing is sad when they unlived. Yeah, the guy with the radio. Yeah. And that the stream's okay. Yeah. Overall, man, this is a good movie. If you've never seen a Martin Lawrence movie, why, first of all, are you living under a rock? Is this the one I would start with? Maybe. I might start with this one. But if even more than that, I would start with watching the show. And if you watch the show, this feels like it's not a sequel, but it just feels like it's in the same vein of the show where, Martin would play his mom. He plays his own mom. He plays Shanae. He would play, you remember the Kung Fu dude that he'd play? And he always has like some kind of fake teeth or, a wig. And he's never him, he's always playing somebody else. Now, this instance, this was one of the funniest parts of the movie, of him originally trying to get into the police station. And you have to just suspend your disbelief a little bit because he's going in as this character and the cops they don't get it, right? They don't realize that it's him. But it's funny. It's funny in a very 90s way. I think the only thing that hurts this movie to me, again, I'm going to give it a B-. And the only reason that I'm giving it a B- is it was 1999. This movie comes out during this streak let's say this came out in 95. I think this movie would have been an even bigger hit. And it's a big hit. It was a big hit. But I don't think people reflect on it. Like when you think of Martin Lawrence movies, right? DJ said he would probably start with a different movie because this one's PG-13. That's what I'm saying. And Bad Boys is rated R. But if I'm starting with anything, I'm starting with the series. That's what I'm going to show you first. He has a smaller role at Death and the Funeral, but he's great in that movie. Those movies are probably what I would start with, just so you can get a feel for his acting, because he's different. He's really different. To me, his style of movie is like if you crossed a Jim Carrey movie with an Eddie Murphy movie. That's what you get with Martin Lawrence. If I was really going to start you out with anything, I'd send you back to the Def Jam days, to his stand-ups, because those are incredible. Those are untouchable. Those are untouchable. Any time he hosted Def Comedy Jam, Martin Lawrence, and it wasn't a long time, but man, you could argue he was the GOAT host, man. 100% the GOAT host. So that's my feelings on it. B-. It's a good movie. If you're an 80s kid, 90s kid, you're going to totally get it. If you're 1999 or older, or younger, I should say 1999 or younger, you may not get it. You may not get it. But for us, Martin was amazing. Just flat out amazing. Let's see. More reviews, DJ. What else we got coming up for you? Blue Streak. We did Demolition Man. We got to do Trading Spaces. And Passenger 57. This is going to freak you out, but I've never seen that. Was that rated R? Is Passenger 57 rated R? Whoa. I did not spell that right. That's okay. 92. That came out in 92. It was rated R. 92. I don't think my parents let me see it. I've seen some of it, but boy, when we talk like more recently, I've seen some of it. But boy, I can't wait to review that movie. That might be the next one, bro. That might be the next one, Passenger 57. Especially because we've been talking about Blade. We're going to talk about all of our Marvel stuff either Thursday or Friday. The Marvels comes out tomorrow and Loki finishes up. So we'll be talking about that. And then while we're talking about those movies, I have a lot to say about this Blade movie that came out. So we'll definitely be talking about that as well. All right. Selectors, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Blue Streak is a good movie. Go check it out. It's fun. I said this is the first time you ever see Passenger 57 having your black card. That was just one where I was young. 92. It was hard to come by rated R movies. Yeah. And I saw a GTA trailer in December. It'll probably be at the Game Awards. I figured as much. RL said, okay, good on my end. Okay, cool. Yeah. Passenger 57. There's some other Wesley Snipes movies that I have not seen. Just because, again, my parents, this is where we live. We watched a lot of stuff like Blue Streak, stuff like that. And then the comedy stuff, or the comedy stuff, the action stuff, we watched a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Didn't really grow up with a lot of Stallone stuff. Stuff like that. So, and again, Wesley, I think my first Wesley Snipes movie was Blade. I think that was the first movie I saw of him. So that's what we'll be looking forward to very, very soon. I'm going to see you guys back here in roughly an hour and a half for our next reaction movie for Omni-Man from Mortal Kombat 1. I cannot wait to do that one. We're going to break that one down. That's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to my man DJ. Shout out to RL. Then tomorrow we will be doing probably the Marvels, probably Loki, probably late. My showing of the Marvels is like 8:40 my time. So look for a theater review going up on the YouTube channel for that one. DJ said that was his first two. Yeah. So I gotta dig back into Wesley Snipes' catalog, man. But I've seen a lot of the mainstays now, but that's just one I haven't picked up yet. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a few. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Remember to your destiny, man. I appreciate everyone for coming through on this one. But I have promised DJ, I said, we are going to get this done. I got it done. Go see Blue Streak, man. I think I caught it on, what was that? Oh my gosh. It's on one of the free streaming services right now. Pluto. It's on Pluto. Go see it. It's free to download on like your smart TV. Check it out, man. Let me know in the comments what you think of the movie. Until next time, be kind to one another. And man, I'm out.